Meatloaf, it's a classic, comfort food at its finest. This dish has been around for ages. It's simple, hearty, and delicious. People love meatloaf for its homey feel. It's a reminder of good times and family meals. The history of meatloaf is interesting. It goes way back, even to ancient Rome. Over time it evolved. Different cultures added their own twists, but the basic idea stayed the same. Meatloaf is a dish for everyone. Kids love it, adults love it. You can dress it up or down. It's perfect for a casual dinner or a special occasion. So let's learn how to make the ultimate meatloaf. The key to an amazing meatloaf: top-notch ingredients. It all starts with the meat. You want to choose the best quality you can find. This isn't the time to skimp. Don't even think about using that cheap mince. We want quality here. Look for ground beef that is fresh and has a vibrant color. Look for ground beef that has a good amount of fat. The fat is what gives the meatloaf its juicy, tender texture. Aim for a mix that's about 80% lean and 20% fat. Next up, binders. These hold everything together. Without them, your meatloaf would just fall apart. We're talking breadcrumbs, oats, or even crushed crackers. Each brings a slightly different texture and flavor, so feel free to experiment. Eggs are essential too. They add richness and help the meatloaf keep its shape. Make sure to use fresh eggs for the best results. Now for the flavor, onions are a must. They add a sweet, savory depth that makes the meatloaf irresistible. Sauté them until soft and sweet. This step is crucial as it brings out the natural sugars in the onions, adding a caramelized flavor. Garlic is another game changer. Add a generous amount. Don't be shy. It adds a punch of flavor that complements the onions perfectly. Spices are your secret weapon. Use a blend you love. Think paprika, oregano, thyme. These spices will elevate the flavor profile of your meatloaf. A dash of Worcestershire sauce adds a savory depth. It's like a secret ingredient that makes everything taste better. Salt and pepper are essential, of course. They bring out all the other flavors and make your meatloaf truly delicious. Don't forget to season generously. Ready to get your hands dirty? Let's do this. First, preheat your oven. This is a crucial step to ensure your meatloaf cooks evenly and thoroughly. Set it to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 Celsius. This temperature is perfect for a nice, even bake. Now grab a large bowl. This will be your main mixing vessel, so make sure it's big enough to hold all your ingredients comfortably. Combine your ground meat, breadcrumbs, eggs, and sautéed onions. These ingredients form the base of your meatloaf, providing structure and flavor. Add your garlic, spices, and Worcestershire sauce. These will add depth and complexity to the flavor. Mix it all together, but be careful not to overmix. Use your hands. It's the best way to feel when everything is combined. Plus, it ensures that all the ingredients are evenly distributed. Next, grab a loaf pan. Grease it well. This will prevent sticking and make it easier to remove the meatloaf once it's cooked. Press the meatloaf mixture into the pan. Make sure to pack it in tightly to avoid any air pockets. Make sure it's evenly distributed. This will help it cook uniformly and give you that perfect slice. For extra flavor, create a glaze. This will add a sweet and tangy finish to your meatloaf. Mix ketchup, brown sugar, and mustard. This combination creates a delicious topping that caramelizes beautifully in the oven. Spread it over the top of the meatloaf. Make sure to cover it evenly for the best results. Section 4. Secrets to a moist and flavorful meatloaf. Today, we're diving into the art of making the perfect meatloaf, a dish that, when done right, can be the star of any meal. But if not handled properly, it can turn out dry and unappetizing. Nobody wants a dry meatloaf. It's a common problem, but one that can be easily avoided with a few simple tips and tricks. The secret: don't overcook it. Overcooking is the #1 reason meatloaf turns out dry. Keeping an eye on the cooking time is crucial. How do you know when it's done? Use a meat thermometer. This handy tool takes the guesswork out of cooking. Stick it into the center. This is where the meatloaf will take the longest to cook, so it's the best place to check for doneness. It should read 160 degrees Fahrenheit or 71 degrees Celsius. This ensures that the meatloaf is cooked through but still juicy. Another trick for a moist meatloaf: add some moisture to the mixture. Chopped vegetables work wonders. They not only add moisture but also enhance the flavor. Think carrots, zucchini, or bell peppers. These vegetables release moisture as they cook, keeping the meatloaf tender. Want to take it up a notch? Create a flavorful broth. This can be made from beef, chicken, or vegetable stock. and seasoned to your liking. Pour a little into the bottom of the pan before adding the meatloaf. This creates a moist environment in the oven. This will keep it extra moist as it bakes. The broth will steam up and infuse the meatloaf with additional flavor. And don't forget to let the meatloaf rest. This step is often overlooked, but is crucial for a juicy meatloaf. Once it's out of the oven, let it sit for about 10 minutes. This resting period allows the juices to redistribute throughout the meatloaf. Resulting in a more tender and flavorful loaf. Follow these tips and you'll have a meatloaf that's moist, flavorful, and sure to impress. Section 5. Serving your meatloaf triumph. Your meatloaf is ready. It's time to serve your masterpiece. Slice it into thick, generous portions. Serve it with your favorite sides. Mashed potatoes are a classic pairing. Creamy, buttery, and oh so comforting. Roasted vegetables add a touch of sweetness and color. Green beans, broccoli, or asparagus are all excellent choices. For a bit of tang, cranberry sauce is a must. Its sweetness cuts through the richness of the meatloaf. And don't forget the gravy. Drizzle it generously over the meatloaf and potatoes. Section 6. Variations on a theme exploring different flavors. Meatloaf is incredibly versatile. Get creative with the basic recipe. Try different meats. Ground pork or veal add richness. For a lighter option, use ground turkey or chicken. Experiment with different flavors. Add chopped bacon for a smoky touch. Mushrooms bring an earthy flavor. Sun-dried tomatoes add a burst of sweetness. Change up the glaze. Barbecue sauce adds a smoky, tangy flavor. Honey mustard brings a sweet and savory kick. For a spicy twist, try a sriracha glaze. The possibilities are endless. Section 7. Conclusion. The joy of meatloaf. Meatloaf is more than just a dish. It's a celebration of comfort, flavor, and tradition. It's a dish that brings people together, a reminder of home. So, gather your ingredients, put on your apron, and get ready to create your own meatloaf masterpiece. With a little love and care, you'll have a dish that's sure to impress. Enjoy!